Thank you for contacting Wave Clinical Support. From your case, I see a rather difficult post-RK patient that you're trying to fit with a rigid lens. And if we take a look at your design here, I see you've done a very nice job with this design, getting this back surface of the lens to match the topography. Unfortunately, as you found in your clinical support request, you noted that this patient's getting some staining around that 10 o'clock area through here. And if we look at the design, where that lens lands, we have some clearance here. It's pretty uniform clearance around. You get a little bit higher clearance over on this side, and then of course you've got your area of landing over here. So it's kind of isolated into this one area, so that's probably how you're getting your bearing. You got a lot of clearance here. It's just kind of lens lid interaction, just causing that lens to kind of dig in through this area, rub a little bit. If that's unacceptable, we need to somehow figure out how to get this area a little bit more even all throughout the lens. That may also help stabilize this lens also too. I get the sense that you're probably getting a little more rocking than you would anticipate with this. All this great looking design, you got a couple options to try to change that. One is just to continue working around those meridians, maybe snug this other side back up a little bit to match that cornea a little bit. Another thought is maybe just go over to the Wave and let Wave try to get that lens to line down as much as it can on its own. I'll let it do a little work here for a second. And I'll just give it a moment to finish designing. There we go, and now we've got a lens that is a little bit more evenly distributed, that bearing area along that meridian there. And although it's not as, maybe not quite as nicely looking as yours, this may give you a little bit more stable fit throughout all the meridians. Now you could also play with this a little bit more, maybe go into more of an aspheric design. Might get you a little bit more of a fit, so that's a little bit more resembling what you're doing. So that, again, it kind of evens out the areas of touch there a little bit more, and that may give you a little bit nicer centration on that lens. Another thought, if you can't achieve a good balance between comfort and fit, would just maybe go to a larger diameter semi-scleral lens. And if you haven't designed a semi-scleral lens yet, on the Wave training site there's a great video that Steve Cadra put together on the 8-step process for fitting a semi-scleral lens. And I would encourage you to view that if you're thinking of going that route. But I found that sometimes is helpful in these really unique corneas, just to take all the bearing and just put it right out there on the sclera to kind of even that out. As far as the power goes, it sounds like you're pretty close. What I found that the rules pretty much go out the window on these post-RK patients. I would work on trying to get that lens to be a little more stable on the eye, and then do your best of trying to incorporate that over refraction. I would probably hold off on the multifocal until you're pretty confident that it's consistent to distance vision. Then after that, if you got a pretty decent lens, decent centration, then I would I would say go for the multifocal if you want. But again, I would probably, getting back to our initial thought, I know you had some bearing in this area. I would just try to work on a little bit more even distribution of that that bearing zone. Remember that blue to pink dot is where that lens usually does most of the touch. So if you can even that out a little bit more, that may give you a little more stable fit. So anyways, I wish you well with this case. These are some of the most challenging. Don't get frustrated, and I wish you well. Have a great day.